Hello and welcome to step number 1 of Licensing Basics Academy, the idea. So in this step, you're going to be coming up with great ideas. I'm going to teach you all the things that I know to get those creative juices flowing. So let's get started. So the first question is my product idea going to be successful? Everyone wants to know if their product idea is going to be a success or a failure. There is no crystal ball when it comes to licensing products and developing products for licensing. So get that out of your head because there's no way to know until you actually get out there and try to pitch your product idea to companies. So, however, there is no crystal ball, but there is the best type of products for licensing. So there's a specific type of product in general that does better in the licensing world, and that's usually simple ideas, improvements of existing products, products that have mass market appeal, products that are easy to manufacture, and products that are economical, so things that most people can afford. And these are not only good products or easier products to license, but they're better products to license. Obviously, if you have a simple idea that consumers can understand, they're going to understand your product idea right away. And if the benefits of your product are benefits to them, then they're going to buy it. The mass market appeal, obviously, if you want to make a lot of money in licensing, the more products that are sold, the better chance for you to make a lot of money in licensing. So you want a mass market appeal. Manufacturability, you want something that's fairly simple to manufacture. The potential licensees are going to look into that. When they see your product, they're going to want to know how is it manufactured. And if it's something that's difficult or no one knows how to manufacture it, your chances of licensing it are going to be more slim. And economical, that goes right back into the mass market appeal. More economical products sell to the masses. So what makes a product simple? Basically, if you can explain the product and its benefits in one sentence, that's going to make it sound more simple. So is your product easy to understand? That is a big and important thing that you have to get down is can you easily explain your product? And if you can't, either figure out an easy way to explain it or pick a new product. Improvement of existing product. Okay, so this goes back to the being simple with your product ideas. If you can invent something that's a simple variation of an existing product, you have a better chance for success. So with this, inventing a product that is similar to something else but offers greater benefits is key. Don't try to reinvent the wheel. If you do have a product idea that is new and novel and no one's ever seen it, that's great. That doesn't mean you can't license it. That's fine. Just remember, it's going to take a little more of sales ability to pitch the product to your potential licensees. The other issue with that is there's no proven track record with a product that is not proven. So if you come up with some new way to do something, there's no proven track record that consumers will actually buy it. You might think it's the best idea in the world. All your friends and family think it's the best idea in the world, but the actual proof is sales. And if you have no sales, then it is more risky for the potential licensee. Now, versus a product that's similar to an existing product but has maybe greater benefits, well, a potential licensee knows that product sells, whatever product it might be similar to. And so if yours is slightly better than that, then they are going to want it. And it's less risky for them to license a product that's similar to something else. Mass market appeal versus niche market. Okay, finding a product that has the most potential customers. So niche markets are fine. You can come up with a lot of good products in niche markets. But if you have a choice and you have the ability to come up with something that has more mass market appeal, then it is going to be more beneficial in the long run. Manufacturability. That goes back to, is your product manufacturable? If there's similar products in the market, then most likely your product is manufacturable. So it's good. It's beneficial for you to know how your product can be manufactured. So doing your research in manufacturing and understanding the different manufacturing processes is beneficial. It is not required, however. I've licensed, so my product, 3D Liquid Art Splash, I did not know how to manufacture my product. I had an idea. I knew how to make prototypes. I didn't know how it was being manufactured. So that was something the licensee figured out. And so I was still able to license my product even though I didn't have manufacturing down. So if you don't know how to manufacture it, but there are similar products, similar materials, similar mechanics that are being manufactured, then you can have a pretty good guess that your product is manufacturable. So economical. Can your target market afford to purchase this product? Now, obviously, if you make a product and your target market cannot afford it, it's not a very good product, is it? So in this example, we have a solid gold hairbrush versus a plastic hairbrush. So your target market is pretty much anybody that needs a hairbrush. So obviously, if you have a solid gold hairbrush, it's probably pretty expensive. So you're probably not going to sell many of them. So how to brainstorm invention ideas. This is very important because the licensing game requires ideas. It's a numbers game. It's about coming up with ideas and pitching them out to companies until one sticks. So it requires you to have more than one idea in most cases. So learning how to brainstorm ideas is very important if you're getting involved in licensing. There are many different tips and tricks to coming up with ideas and being creative. The first one I want to talk about is problem solving. So problem solving is probably the most common way of inventing new products, and it usually has to do with problem and solution. So in this example, we have a hot pot, and there was a point in time when there was nothing to take a hot pot off of a stove. And so you would imagine that someone probably burnt their fingers by trying to get this hot pot off the stove. And therefore, after seeing a problem, someone figured out a solution. And that solution was oven mitts. So you have a problem and solution. Here is a perfect example of how to create products in this area. So how to problem solve. So some of the ways that you can brainstorm problem solving is write down some lists. So you can write down a list of things that people dislike doing. Okay, so think about yourself. What do you hate to do? Number 2, things that are difficult to do. All right, so things that not only you dislike, but maybe things that are just difficult, something that's not easy to do. And 3, things that are painful to do. So something that actually physically gives you pain, similar to that last example with the hot pot and the burning your fingers. All right, so let's talk about examples. What things do people like to do? What things do people dislike doing? What would make these things more enjoyable? So sweeping the floor. I don't know about you guys, but personally I'm not a big fan of sweeping the floor. So if there is an easier way to sweep the floor, then I'd be all for it. And someone probably thought of that, and so they came up with the automatic robot sweeper. You guys have probably seen this. It automatically sweeps your floors, and it has sensors so it knows when it's coming near something. And so this is a perfect example of fixing a problem of something people dislike doing. What things are difficult to do? So can I invent an easier, more simple way of doing them? So with the baby boomers getting into their retirement age, a lot of products can be invented in the geriatrics department. So if you can think of an easier way for an elderly person to do simple chores, then you probably have a good product on your hands that would have a mass market appeal. So in this case, we have difficulty bending to put on socks. Someone invented this device to slide socks on your feet without having to bend over. What things are painful to do? Can you invent a way to make them not painful? So I don't know about you guys, but cutting onions is one of those things where, once your eyes start watering, it just is painful and not fun anymore. So someone created onion goggles. So it's a way to basically cover your eyes while you're cutting onions to keep from the aroma of the onions getting into your eyes. All right. Number 2 way that people can be creative. This one is called mix and match. It's thinking of 2 or more things that don't normally go together and combining them into one product. So for this example, I love to talk about this whole group of 5 things. You got scissors, a can opener, a knife, a saw, and a bottle opener. How could you combine all 5 of these products into one? And if you start thinking, you might have thought of the Swiss Army knife. So the Swiss Army knife has all those things among others, but that's one way of thinking of mix and match. Here is an actual demo of how I would do mix and match. I would come up with a single product that I wanted to add additional features to. So in this case, we have a hairbrush. The additional products that we could add to the hairbrush are, let's say, a hair dryer, hairspray, soap, mirror, tweezers, toothbrush, mouthwash, fingernail clippers. So basically what you want to do is just create a big list of a bunch of other products. It could be in the same category. You could be even more creative and think of products in other categories, but usually it's simpler with products in the same category. So now that we have this list of additional things, let's see what we can combine. So combine your products into one. What can I add to this product to make it more interesting or useful? So we have the hairbrush. What if we add a mirror to this hairbrush? That would make it more interesting. You could maybe do your makeup with the back of the brush, and I believe these do exist. You can buy hairbrushes with mirrors on them. So you have a mirror on the back of a hairbrush, so you've combined 2 products. What about hairspray? Could you add hairspray to the hairbrush? That way you could spritz your hair and brush it, and all in one. So let's combine these 3 things and see what we come up with. So this is a made-up product. I don't think it exists, so if someone wants to steal this idea from me, go for it. The hairbrush, the hairspray mirror brush is what I'm calling it. And you can see my little rough prototype, a quick little, pulling some pictures together and sticking them in. But that's what I came up with from mix and match. What if? So ask yourself the question, what if? What if I could make a 3-dimensional image out of water? So this is actually how I created my product. So I saw this little water drop, and it looked like it was a 3-dimensional image, and it was kind of stuck to this track, and I'll explain more about the story in a second. But I then thought, what if I could create 3-dimensional images out of water? And therefore, I created 3D liquid art. This was my invention that turned into Art Splash and is currently sold by Mattel. So, daydreaming, what if? Having your heads in the clouds can be a good thing when inventing with what if method. So, if you're ever in the daydream mode and you're just thinking of random stuff, this can be a great opportunity to think of some inventions. So number 4 is review and improve. Okay, read 3-star product reviews and find out basically what you're going to do is you're going to look for patterns of consistent customer complaints. So I actually pulled an image of this hairbrush off Amazon, and it looks like it has 1,352 reviews with an average rating of 4 stars, which is a pretty good product. What I found when I started looking at the 3-star reviews is there was a consistent customer complaint that I found. So this one says travel size, not a full size. Tiny brush. Would be good as a kid's brush. Very small. It's much smaller than I thought. It's like a miniature brush. It's small but okay. Toy brush. A little small. So what have we gathered from these consistent customer complaints? Basically what we've gathered is it's smaller than people thought. Okay, so it's a small brush and people were hoping for something larger. What could we do to make this brush more enticing? Simply by making it larger would probably eliminate all of these issues, right? So if there was not a larger brush in this style, then that could be an invention that we could offer. So pick a product, start by researching and reading reviews, learn everything about the product so you can then know what needs to change with it. Number 5, old idea with new tech. This one's kind of fun because you can find there's all sorts of new technologies in every different industry, and if you can implement these new technologies to old products, you might be able to have a new product on your hands. So on the left we have the lint roller. You may have seen this product in the past. It is simply a sticky adhesive that you roll over a shirt to pick up lint and hair. On the right we have a new product, fairly new. It's called a polyurethane gel. It's a sticky gel that basically is like an adhesive. It is an adhesive. However, when you get it dirty, you can simply clean it off and the sticky characteristics come back, unlike the lint roller. So here you see the lint roller. It requires you to remove the dirty adhesive sheets. So it's layered in a bunch of sheets, and when they get dirty they lose their sticky nature, and you have to remove the sheets to get a fresh adhesive sheet. With this new lint roller with polyurethane gel, you simply wash off the dirt, dry it, and it's ready to use again. So it's an old product with new technology. In order to do this, it's good to think of new and different technologies, write a list of all of them, and see what products you can implement new technology with. Number 6, a new fad, trend, or craze. All right, these 3 things, fidget toys. Okay, the fidget spinners was a big thing. Fidget cubes, just fidget toys in general had a lot of popularity recently. It was quite the fad or trend or craze, whatever you want to call it. It kind of came in and went out. But when you see these trends coming in, there's a great opportunity to think of product ideas that could be different than what the current products in that area are. So how to find a fad, trend, or craze? So one way is looking on social media. You can look on Facebook, YouTube. You can look at viral videos, Google Trends, and Amazon bestsellers. So if you don't know about Amazon bestseller, you can go to amazon.com/best-sellers/ZGBS. Okay, and that's going to take you to the bestseller list. And so this list is constantly updated. You can look into specific categories to find out what products are selling the best on Amazon. So this will give you an idea of what is selling well, what products. Trending. So trending videos, you can go onto YouTube and you can click on the trending button and you can watch videos that are trending, viral videos. So it's a good way to find current trending videos. Google Trends. Google Trends is a great place to look at the trends of a specific product or a keyword. I went just for fun to check out fidget spinners, and I checked out the fidget spinner trend. So it's pretty interesting that the fidget spinners, they came and went pretty quick. So within about a 5-month period, fidget spinners came in and went out. So this was an extremely fast trend. Obviously, if you came up with a fidget spinner idea after, halfway through this trend, it wouldn't be much good to you after it ended. But sometimes trends can last longer than this. BuzzSumo. So BuzzSumo.com. This is a great website to find things that are trending in social media. So you can basically look up a keyword or a phrase, and you can find out if it's trending in social media. So it's got a specific algorithm to decipher how trendy the phrase or word is, but a lot of it's based off shares. So for example, Facebook shares, you can find out how many times it's being shared, and that's a pretty good indication of a product that's trending or something that's trending. So BuzzSumo is a great place. It's a paid service, but you do get a certain amount of free searches per day. So you can use the free version to check out some products. And that's about it. So I hope you enjoyed the product step. I hope it helped you understand the tips and tricks of how to come up with a bunch of new ideas to help you in your licensing business. So next up, we're going to talk about step number 2, and that's the analysis. Learn how to analyze your new product ideas to pick the best one to move forward with. All right, thanks. It's Ryan Stewart, and hope you enjoyed this. Move on to step number 2.